Hi, welcome back to McClatchy Maths. My name is Natalie McClatchy and we are continuing our video series today on the 2024 external exams for Queensland General Mathematics. And we're looking at paper 2, the complex, familiar and unfamiliar questions. Question 2 is a networks question. Before we get into it, I just want to let you know a few ways that you can engage further here with the channel. Firstly, you could like and subscribe. You could tell someone about the video by either sharing the link to it with your friends or family, or even putting on your class OneNote if you're a teacher. Or even you could consider telling us in the comments if we saved your bacon the night before the external exams. And another way you can say thank you outside of the comments is to actually hit that little love heart button. It's called Super Thanks. It's a feature on YouTube where you can donate $2 to the running costs of the channel and make sure that we can continue producing videos for you in the future. Okay, let's get straight into question 2, worth 4 marks. The table shows the travel time in minutes between 5 islands in the Torres Straits for a ferry service. Now, I do apologise in advance. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciations of these places because I'm generally not good at pronouncing things like that. So apologies if I do that to people who live there. But we've got 5 islands. And we need to come up with a weighted graph. That means it's a graph that's got numbers on the edges. And we're going to use that to calculate the total travel time for a ferry that's doing a Hamiltonian cycle beginning at Wyburn. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to draw my vertices. I've got W for Wyburn, I've got G for Gilug, I've got K for Kariri, I've got P for Palalug, and N for Nugarapi. Okay, so I want to make sure that I've put these in a circle. It's easier than if they're in a straight line. Pop them in a circle so that you can do edges between them easily. So now what I need to do is look and see, are there any loops? Is there a loop from Wyburn to Wyburn, here to here, here to here, here to... No, there's no loops at all. So that's my first thing. Now I'm going to work across the rows. From W to P, there's nothing. From W to N, I've got an edge and it's worth 18 minutes. From W to K, nothing. W to G, I've got a 14. So from W to G, a 14. So the first row's done. Next row, from P to K, I've got a 25. And from P to G, I've got a 16. And then my last row with information is from N to K, I've got a 20. I've decided to put that around the outside. I could have drawn and intersected them. It's not a big deal, but going around the outside will make it much easier for me to draw this Hamiltonian cycle. And then my last one goes from N to G, and it's a 28. So now I've done my weighted graph. I'm going to get my first mark because I correctly constructed it from the table. I showed 5 labelled vertices and 6 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so my next step now is to work out where that Hamiltonian cycle is. Now you recall a Hamiltonian cycle visits every vertex only once. Now I also got a second mark there for showing those weights. Excellent. Okay, so here's my Hamiltonian cycle. I want to go to every vertex. Now, because I've drawn this with a loop here, it's actually really easy. If I started at Wyburn where I'm supposed to, I could simply go all the way around here, around the outside. And that's a Hamiltonian cycle. Every vertex only once. We've now done that. And it had to begin at Wyburn, so make sure you read the information there carefully and don't start somewhere else. And what I need to do is either represent that by drawing it on there, or I could actually state what that is. W to G to P to K to N to W. Okay, so now I've got my Hamiltonian cycle and I get another mark. Okay, now I need to use that pathway through the network to work out the total travel time. So I'm simply going to be adding 14, 16, 25, 20, and 18 together. So that's this here, and it's a total of 93 minutes. I get my total travel time, including units. So I needed to write the minutes on there, otherwise I would not get the mark. So all these things we've been talking about since grade 7 to you, talking out you don't forget to round properly, don't forget to use your units of measurement. They all come in handy here. Now, here are some other things to bear in mind. The QCAA's got an alternative solution on their website. There's lots of ways you could have drawn the graph. So if you look at my graph, it looked like that. You could have drawn it differently and it would have been a network inside a network. So as long as you've actually constructed this accurately according to this, then whatever graph you drew that represents this will be correct. And your Hamiltonian cycle might be slightly different depending on where you go. So notice this one here goes that way around the outside, or it could have gone that way around the outside. So Depending on how you go, there could be different ways. Here's another way. So that one looked pretty crazy, that one. But there are lots of ways to draw the same network, as long as they are all the information represented correctly. Well, this is all we've got time for today. If you've got any questions at all, you can contact me at mcclutchymaths@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please look for our upcoming videos in the same series and have a wonderful day.